Hello everybody and welcome to the final match of RBL Season 6. This match happened 20 days ago, but I had no interest in recording it, and you will see as this battle goes on why. Spoilers, but it's the final battle of Season 6. 2-8 currently. Or no, 3-7. I'm sorry, 3-7. I forgot that I had 3 wins. But we're going up against Semiraro 22, coach of the Kentucky Crobats. His team is the one you see on the other side: Arcanine, Tantalus, Sneasel, Blastoise, Thundurus, T, and Manaphy. My team is the one you see right in front of you, which would be Heatran, so the Assault Vest, with 248 HP, 8 special attack, and 252 special defense. Calm Nature with Fire Blast, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and Hidden Power Grass. Now this was meant to stop Magearna, which he didn't even bring, so that's fun. Next is Pluto, Zygarde 10% with the Choice Band, with Max Attack, Max Speed, 4 special defense with the Jolly Nature, with 1000 Arrows, Extreme Speed, Rock Slide, and Crunch. Next is Baby Luigi the Reuniclus, Leftovers with Regenerator, Max HP, Max Defense, 4 Special Attack with a Bold Nature, Calm Mind, Recover, Energy Ball, and Psychic. Next is Coco Haram, the type of Coco with the Expert Belt, Electric Surge, of course, with 120 HP, 252 Special Attack, and 136 Speed with a Timid Nature with Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Dazzling Gleam, and Hidden Power Ice. The speed is meant to be able to outspeed anything on his team. I believe his fastest is the Thundurus the Sneasel. Lets me outspeed the Sneasel, so the rest in HP for that reason. Next is Mantine with Leftovers, got Water Absorb, meant to stop the Manaphy, with 248 HP, 8 special attack, and 252 special defense with a Calm Nature. Scald, Defog, Haze, and Roost. Haze, of course, to stop the Manaphy from setting up Tail Glows. Lastly is T-Bow the Passimian with the Choice Scarf, with Max Attack, Max Speed, 4 Special Defense, Jolly Nature with Close Combat, Earthquake, U-Turn, and Rock Slide. So you notice Tapu Koko has Volt Switch purely because of the Thundurus. So I believe I lead off with the Tapu Koko, expecting his lead to be the Blastoise or the Manaphy or really anything. Tapu Koko can switch out no matter what he leads. So he's going to lead off with the Blastoise. So I lead off with the Tapu Koko. I'm going to click U-Turn as I expect him to go into the Thundurus T, which he does. So I'm going to U-Turn out. And I believe I bring in Passimian here, because Passimian is Scarfed and can outspeed with Rock Slide is what I believe I click, and I do. Brings in the Tangela. I'm going to switch out now, and I'm going to bring in the Heatran, because Heatran is the best thing to deal with Tango. He's going to go for the Leech Seed. I really am just going to Fire Blast, even though he's probably going to go into Arcanine, because that's his Arcanine or Blastoise, and he goes into Arcanine. As a Fire Blast, it does 29% because of a crit, but then the Leech Seed will bring him back up to 91%. I don't obviously want to stay in. I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to bring in Mantine. So he goes for the Hidden Power, and it's a Hidden Power Ground. So I now know that I can switch into Mantine pretty much any time. He's going to go for the Toxic, which, whatever. I'm going to go for the Scald. It's going to do 36%, which is pretty good. But he's clearly specially defensive. He's going to switch out now, and he's going to bring in Manaphy. As I go for the Scald. Does 12%, no burn. And I'm not going to switch out, because this is what Mantine's here for. He's going to go for the Tail Glow, which I expect. I'm going to go for the Haze, basically letting him know you can't do that with this Mantine on the field. I'm going to switch out now, bring in Tapu Koko, as I expect him to probably do something. He's going to go for the Hidden Power Electric, maybe. I resist it, so that's what I would guess. He's going to go into Thundurus, as I go for the Dazzling Gleam. Do 46%. I know I outspeed, so I can Dazzling Gleam again. Get rid of this Thundurus, which means I can go for Thunderbolts freely now. He's going to bring in the Blastoise now. And he's going to switch out, bring in the Manaphy. I go for the Thunderbolt, and the Manaphy goes down. He didn't calc with the electric terrain, and that's why that happened. I'm going to U-turn out now, and I'm going to bring in Mantine, the safety. as he goes for the hidden power ground again. So I'm up 6-4, and that's not that bad. He's going to go for the flamethrower. He's going to do a crit. He's going to do 13%. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to scald. I'm like, well, what's he going to do here? And he is going to go for the morning sun. He's going to heal up, of course, which is rough. I'm going to go for the scald again. Do 36%. I can't burn this thing because it's a fire type, so I don't really have much I can do other than scald. But I'm going to switch out and bring in Passimian. So he goes for the morning sun once again. I have Earthquake, and I have Rock Slide, but I think I'm going to click... I think I clicked the Earthquake. I do click the Earthquake. It goes into Tangela, does 7% to Tangela. So I'm going to switch out again and bring out Heatran. And he's going to go for the Leech Seed. And here is, I think, where I click the Earth Power. So he goes into Blastoise here. I go for the Fire Blast. Okay, never mind. That's not what happens. You bring in the Blastoise. I'm going to switch out again. And bring in Reuniclus. He goes for the Scald, does 33%, no burn, but he is going to now click the Dark Pulse, as I go for nothing, because he flinches me, and that is going to actually be me losing Reuniclus, as he gets a higher roll this time. So, that was bad luck, but I'm going to go into Tapu Koko now, and I'm going to Thunderbolt and get rid of the Blastoise. So it's 5-3, looking pretty good for me. I'm going to bring in the Arcanine. I'm going to switch out into Mantine, because that's my best play. I'm going to not hard switch, I'm going to U-turn into the Mantine. I'm going to Passimian, because I figured he'd probably go for something. I don't know. U-turn out again, bring in Mantine, and he's going to go for the Hidden Power Ground. I'm forgetting this battle, but I'm here, and I'm going to Scald this time. He's going to Flamethrower, let's do 8%. I'm just trying. Nope, I'm going to Roost, actually. That was actually the better play. I don't know why I said Scald, but I'm going to Scald next turn as he switches out. Brings in the Tangela. I'm going to Scald, hopefully get a burn this turn, and I do, which is nice, except for the fact that Tangela is a generator, so it really doesn't matter. He can just switch out whenever he wants. Toxic would have actually been better, but whatever. I'm going to bring in the Heatran now. He's going to go for the Leech Seed. Here is where I click Earth Power, and here is where I realize that Showdown is absolute trash. So I'm going to click Earth Power here as he goes into Arcanine. And then I'm going to click Earth Power again, but not because I wanted to click Earth Power again. What happened here is why Showdown is actually terrible, and I never realized Showdown was terrible until this battle. What happened was I had clicked Earth Power on the Tangela, expecting the Arcanine to come in. I wanted to get big damage off, and then I wanted to switch out into Mantine, which Arcanine comes in, hit it with the Earth Power, got a crit, which was nice. Then I was going to switch out and bring in Mantine. Okay, I was in another tab doing calculations. I'd already selected Earth Power, and the little exclamation mark that Showdown has when you are battling, if you're not in the tab, an orange exclamation mark shows up. So it shows up, I click on it, and the scene looks the same, but it was said I hadn't, or it had the ability for me to pick a move. So I was like, that's weird. So I checked the chat, and nothing had happened in the chat. So I said, alright, well, I guess I don't know, I guess the server did something or reset, and I should have to pick my move again. So I picked Earth Power again. It went to the scene of him switching out into the Arcanine. Alright, hitting Earth Power hitting. And then immediately went into Arcanine hitting the Hidden Power Ground. So, essentially what happened was the turn happened. My Showdown didn't update the turn happening. It didn't put it in the log or anything. And it basically was telling me to pick a move without me actually seeing the scene, and it made me lose Heatran, which basically kills my momentum in a way. Not fully. I mean, I still have the ability to do stuff, but Tangela is now going to be a problem because this is my main answer to Tangela, and I just lost Heatran because Showdown is trash. So now I'm going to bring in Zygarde and just say, well, I got to do something here. So I go for, I believe, 1,000 arrows. Does nothing to the Tangela. I can't touch Tangela with any of my physical attackers, which is what I have left for the most part. I'm going to do a Mantine here because I have to do something, and I don't want to stay in the Zygarde since 1,000 arrows doesn't do anything. And I'm going to switch out again immediately into Passimian this time. He goes for the Leech Seed. Passimian just going to U-turn just so I can get some chip damage off. That's really all I can do at this point. And I bring in Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko has Hidden Power Ice, which is nice. And a Giga Drain, it's into 35%. Hidden Power Ice does a decent amount. And I'm going to click it here, and it's going to do 52%. He's going to knock off here, and I know he's going to switch out because he would lose Tangle if he doesn't. He's going to switch out, and he's going to bring in the Arcanine, as I believe I Hidden Power Ice again. Our Dazzling Gleam here. And what I should have done here is switch out, and I ultimately decide to Thunderbolt, which does 40%, and he's going to kill me with a Flamethrower. Misplay there. That's where I lose the match, because I now can't kill Tangela without him killing me first. So, yeah, I went from a 6-4 lead to a 3-0 loss, because I was unable to do anything, partly because of Showdown glitching, partly because I was an idiot and stayed in with Tapu Koko. And this is just going to be a slow now loss over time. Arcanine here is just going to be able to Morning Sun before I can hit it with a Scald. And I just have to basically wait this whole thing out. If I'm lucky, I can get a crit on this Arcanine and get rid of it. I believe I'd just lose 3-0, though, if I remember correctly. There's a chance that it's only 2-0, but I'm pretty sure it's 3-0. I think this Arcanine will just win. The Arcanine and Tangela combination wins. Doesn't even have to go into the Sneasel, ever, because I can't do anything to the Arcanine or the Tangela. Because if I switch in a Zygarde here, right, I don't want to risk getting burned at all. But if I predict a Morning Sun, I do get a crit there. But if I do predict a Morning Sun and switch into Zygarde, well, then he can just switch into Tangela, and that's that. But I do that. I know he's in a Morning Sun this turn. I go into Passimian instead of going into Zygarde, because I have nothing I can do. I'm going to Earthquake, probably, as he goes into Tangela once again. I close combat, actually, for just as much damage as I can do. It's really my best play, in case you wanted to go into Sneasel for some reason. I switch out. I should have probably stayed in and close combated again. Thinking about it, would have been the better play. I actually might have had a chance to win at that point. I remember. I wanted to keep Passimian around. Passimian would have died to with minus special defense to a Giga Drain, and I wouldn't have killed the Tangela, and I need Passimian around for the Sneasel. That's why I switched out. But I'm just going to Scald here, do 17%, which isn't bad, but he can Giga Drain and heal back up, and it's basically, now it's over. I'm going to bring in Passimian, I'm going to close combat again, and he's going to switch out, and he's going to bring in the Arcanine, he's going to intimidate me, and at that point, there's literally nothing I can do, as I U-turn, actually, instead, because I would have killed. I'm going to bring in Zygarde, 10%, and I'm just going to 1,000 Arrows, I think, or Crunch, just to do whatever did the most to the Tangela is what I end up clicking. I just do 1,000 Arrows. And I'm just going to 1,000 Arrows again. No, I don't. I don't know what I did here. At this point, I was just kind of done with this game. He switched out an Arcanine, which I expected, kind of, so I'm... No, I missed a Rock Slide. Yeah, this game just didn't like me. Like, just straight up, this game hated me. And it's a great way to end off a season by just watching. I could flinch his Arcanine, though, which I think that's what I resorted to at this point. Just try to flinch him out. Because, I do kill his Arcanine. It's 2-0 loss. If I get a crit there, get rid of his Arcanine, which is justice for everything that's happened, even though I'm still going to lose. I'm just going to Rock Slide the Tangela, do 8%. It's going to do nothing. He's going to knock off, get rid of Passimian, and the last thing I have is Zygarde, 10%, to try and salvage nothingness. I'm going to Extreme Speed, that's my best play there. He's going to Hidden Power Ice, though, which is going to do a ton. Extreme Speed could kill, but it doesn't. Unlucky me, don't get the Extreme Speed kill. So it could have been a 1-0 had I gotten the Extreme Speed kill, but it didn't, and that is going to be the end of RBL Season 6 for the Baltimore Ravias. And it is also going to be, for the moment, the end of the Ravias RBL career. I'm going to take a break next season, we'll see what happens after that. But this match really just left a sour taste in my mouth. It was a terrible match, right? There's no sugarcoating this match, right? I played very well at the beginning, and I had all the momentum. Losing Heatran was the biggest thing that happened that was really good for him. And the Leech Seeds kept doing a lot, or a decent amount of damage, but it was over. It was just an overtime chip down, but just having it around could have been good. Losing Heatran the way I did was just absolutely ridiculous, and it was really frustrating. And then sacking off Tapu Koko inadvertently pretty much was bad as well. Shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. At that point, I was just kind of done with the match. I had lost a lot of motivation after I lost Heatran the way that I did, and it was just really frustrating. And all in all, that's how the Ravias die, if you will. So I'm going to call it there, this video. I'm going to try to get some other stuff coming up soon. I think I'm going to do some of those, original 151 Pokemon quizzes, and I'm going to do some other stuff. I have a game I want to start doing. I might try to get an episode of that up at some point next week. We'll see what we can do. But, alas, Season 6 is over. Finished the season with a 3-8 record. Could be worse. It's not my worst season I've ever had, so that's a plus. I felt at the end of the season that my team was starting to mesh. I was starting to get it, but that's the end for now. So we will be back, hopefully, at some point in the future. Hopefully not the distant future. But that's all for today. So if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, please comment, subscribe, please support the Ravias and everything we do in the future. Support me and everything I do in the future. But I'm going to sign off now. Have a good summer. If it's your summer, if you don't live in an area where it's summer and it's actually winter, then have fun with that. But can't do anything else about that. So goodbye. Goodbye. I can't speak. Have fun with whatever you have coming up. My birthday's next week, so that'll be fun. But, yeah. So, nothing more to say, nothing more to do. Good night.